June 3rd, 1989. In a coordinated surprise maneuver, Russian forces have launched a naval offensive deep into the Gulf of Mexico. The primary objective appears to be twofold: destruction of offshore US oil infrastructure and disruption of key naval logistic routes to New Orleans. Underwater sonar stations in the region have picked up a rising number of enemy submarine contacts operating near major oil platform clusters off the coast of Louisiana and Florida. Simultaneously, satellite imagery has confirmed a heavily escorted convoy of enemy surface ships moving west towards the Mississippi Delta, likely headed for a symbolic strike on New Orleans. With the bulk of US forces engaged in the Pacific and Atlantic, you're tasked with organizing a lean but lethal defense. Leverage available ASW aircraft, submarines, and missile-capable surface ships to intercept the enemy. The rigs must survive. The convoy must not make landfall. Welcome to Mission 6. This is Gulf Breach. Hey there, welcome back to Sea Power. Today we're defending the area around New Orleans. We have a couple of oil rigs, and the Soviets very much wish to destroy those. So, to that end, we have been issued with the USS America. This is CV-66. We also have a couple of submarines around. Here's Helena. We have Baton Rouge over here. We have the Dallas. A P-3C is airborne to try and provide additional ASW support. We have lots of assets, and we have a few targets, but we don't exactly know where. Because yes, the Baton Rouge, I'm not sure why it switches to this. The Baton Rouge knows that there is a surface group coming in to invade. And with her capabilities, I have very little doubt that the Baton Rouge is going to be able to cripple, if not flat out destroy everything here. But the submarines are a different issue. We need to find those and eliminate those. We have a couple of these oil rigs here that require defense. So that's why Dallas is here. I think Dallas, however, is a bit too far away. She's 38 miles out. She's running 10 knots, and there is a thermal layer at 372, so it's possible that we won't be able to hear anything. We are already deploying towed. Good. You're going to be arriving there in 12 minutes. I'm going to say for this oil rig, we're going to have a don't get into my 10-mile zone, or 12 ideally. There. That means that this P3 is immediately going to start deploying sonobuoys when it gets here. Intermittent, please. We're gonna go and secure this area against submarines. There. Okay, that's one. We also have Naval Air Station Pensacola, capable of launching an RA-5 and E-2C. We have a couple of F-14s and two S-3As. Those are valuable ASW aircraft. I'm gonna launch both. We have another P-3B over here, which is going to defend these oil rigs. I'm again going to set up a no-torp perimeter, about 12 miles. I need to keep submarines outside of there. Intermittent. Gonna sonar the buoy deploy here. Once you've done that, we're going to go a little farther afield. And Helena is going to maintain her speed, go in there at 5 knots, which will take her 7 hours to arrive. She's not fast at 5 knots. Okay, then we have our aircraft carrier. Hello, America. The America already knows about these contacts here. We know about a Tu-95 here, but I always wish to know more. So, I'm going to launch an E-2C. There has been a question in a comment recently. Why do you send your F-14s in a duo, not a quad, so not 4? Here's why. If I have two F-14s and I load them out with air-to-air intercept, they're going to be carrying 4 Phoenix missiles each, 2 Sparrows and 2 Sidewinders. So that gives me 4 extremely long-range missiles, or 8 if you take both aircraft. You get 4 Sparrows and you get 4 short-range Sidewinders. That's a lot of missiles. Unless you're coming up against a really big defense or a really big formation, I think it's enough. So, I typically send them out in waves of 2, and that way I can cover larger areas faster. Now, I'm going to assume that Tu-95 is not alone. There might be another aircraft, so I'm going to send up 3 groups of 2, and I also want to send up another aircraft in the form of another S-3A, and I want to take 2 of those. I'm going to send those single up to make sure we don't have them in a formation. That's just going to cause a bit of a hassle. Alright, let's run it. What are we going to see here? We already have a hostile confirmation. That's a landing ship, or it's an escort. Krivac. What else are we going to see here? Potentially another landing ship. These boys are fast. 25.6 knots? Typically landing ships don't go that fast, but a Krivac does. A Krivac can go that fast. Interesting. Another ship here. This is where we need to keep this formation out of. Judging by the range, it's going to take them a long time. It's going to take them about 10 hours at present speed in order to get there. So we have plenty of time to deal some damaging blows against them. F-14s are being readied for takeoff. The E-2C is coming out first. That is Screw Top 1. Screw Top 1 is going to go here after takeoff. And you're going to go to 30,000 feet. And you're going to prepare to turn on your radar. Once we have that, we're going to have a bit clearer information about what exactly we're looking at. Oh, it's the... Ooh, it's the Orel. Wow. That's interesting. They sent a big aircraft carrier here. You can see a helo out there in the distance. Okay. So, this is a very interesting target. You're coming this way at 30 knots, so you're definitely doing air ops. Otherwise, aircraft carriers typically don't sail around at 30 knots in this game. Now, I'm going to have lots of aircraft flying around, so I might at some point forget about some aircraft, simply because there is a bit of cognitive overload. Okay, we're going to go to 37. Oh, look at that picture with that sun. There's the carrier. There's your thumbnail. Okay. Now, what are we dealing with here? Ooh, see? That is a very interesting target. That's a P-42 RLDN. That's their radar bird. And I can be pretty sure it's going to be backing up the Tu-95. We also got something coming in at 659 knots and increasing speed. What are you? And why are you here? This is where Tarbox 3-1 is going to come into play. And have those guys move up a little and move to intercept. And then we have the last flight, Tarbox 5. You're going to go and have a look here. At this point, the first aircraft should be taking off. Hawker 1, that's one of my S3s. You're going to reinforce this position. Go to 20,000 when you're transiting. Hawker 2, go to 20,000. That's southeast. You will get new orders when you get there. It's going to be half an hour. A lot can change in half an hour. I want to see if this guy is willing to chat. They are. Just a regular merchant. Excellent. With all these aircraft, and especially helicopters around, the operational area for the Baton Rouge is definitely not getting any safer. She's going to have to just stay quiet and wait for this group to kind of sail over her. And then we're going to torpedo that aircraft carrier. Prime target. Mauler 1. I want you to start laying a big spread of sonobuoys. Like that. Can we not make it bigger? That's what she said. No, that's going to make it smaller. See, that's better. Control-Alt right-click, and you've got a big spread. And then we're going to have this thing. Intermittent, Control-Alt right-click, spread. And I want to have the aircraft carrier turn around. Because I feel absolutely no need to sail into the enemy. There's a no subzone of 10 miles there. Okay, I think we have everything pretty well in hand. Tarbox 3-1, are you in range of that aircraft? Almost. This thing is coming in at 732 knots. We have it on their emission. It's a MiG. Why are you here? Question 2. Where did you come from? Does the Orel launch MiGs nowadays? Can you do that? You can. But do you? That's the interesting thing. If the AI launches fighters, that's going to change the deal quite a bit. Okay, we got a 100-mile range. Might need more fighters up here. I can also do a air-to-surface strike. Just a plane strike against the group here. But I think Baton Rouge might be ideal to soften them up a little bit, so that we don't have to deal with all of their surface-to-air defenses. Their anti-missile capable weapons. Okay. Flip on that search radar. When you're ready, engage the aircraft. Off you go. You are going to be moving to intercept that aircraft there. Got something else. Screw top, yeah. Agrees to comply, it's an airliner. Dude, you probably want to start thinking of changing your flight path. Considering that you're basically flying over a hostile surface formation. And I don't think the Soviets really care about distinguishing civilian targets from military targets. At least it hasn't really been my experience. And again, in this game, if it's a neutral bird, they probably don't care. They don't really have a reason to care or not care. This naval air station, I'm just going to have the flight of Tomcats up. 2 flights, air-to-air intercept. Or rather, 2 birds, 1 flight. I might need them at some point if the Soviets come in with something over on the right-hand side. I don't know yet. We have more bandits. There's another missile out. There's that P-42 that I want to kill. At this point, I'm thinking that Screwtop is pretty much far enough away that we can turn the air search on. Probably not going to get us a whole lot new information. Oh, well, a little bit. That could be the landing force. Yeah. Could be the landing force. First couple of AIM-54s about to slam into their targets. Go on. In the meanwhile, let's start getting another flight of Tomcats up there. We got loads of these things. Let's get another air-to-air intercept. 2. Because I suspect that one of these flights is going to be empty fairly soon. Not so much empty on fuel, but definitely empty on missiles. You carry 12 torpedoes, a couple of Tomahawks, that's land attacks, a couple of harpoons up to 80 miles. So I can definitely harpoon these things, but I probably won't get away with it. I don't think the missiles will actually get there. Hello, dude. Not sure exactly what your intention was, but we're not having any of that. No! You're not supposed to go after the merchant. What the hell, dude? Oh, this thing is connection lost. I cannot tell this missile to change its course. Oh, boy. I'm sorry. Wait. For somebody who just got hit by a missile, you're doing remarkably well. Not sure what that was about. But hey, he survived. All good. What's all this stuff? Is that fishing boats? Does not respond. Does not respond. Great. You? Fishing boat. Okay, Sunshine. That's another MiG. Now, we're approaching that first recon bird. And the second one is not exactly known. Exact location, that is. You are 17 miles away from firing position. Very good. I think that these are Merchants? Just doing 6 knots. A warship would typically travel a heck of a lot faster. But it is a little suspicious. Go to 37. Hello. Okay, you're an airliner. Alright, so we should be able to engage our search radar now. Get exact location of P-42 and prepare to shoot it down. Yeah, it's Krivac. Confirmed. It's the escort for the Orel. Not a problem. Not a problem. You. We can actually loiter. I want you to get in there. Because if I'm going to have to cycle a pair of F-14s, I want it to be this group. Tarbox 7 just took off. Let's have you go to 37. Until further order, she's going to stay around. State your identity. Fishing boat. Not a problem. Actually, Tarbox, if you're not really doing anything useful, do a flyover here. It's going to take you about 10 minutes to get there. I want to figure out what that is. You guys ready? Almost. Okay. The interesting thing is this P-42 can't really do much about this thing. So these missiles, which are going to come in pretty soon, you're just going to have to either dodge or die. Those are the options you have right now. I'm going to classify everything as hostile just to make it easier. We're picking them up on radar. Interestingly, not on sonar. I suppose Baton is below level. Yeah. Come up above the layer. We're going to listen in. See if we can detect and identify based on sonar trails. Oh, helos. Okay, I don't mind popping the occasional helicopter. Especially not if it makes Baton Rouge's life easier. Slow away. Okay, if you're not too busy, I have another air target for you here. The question is where? It's somewhere. Ah. We have him on their emissions. It's Kashin. I'm not seeing any very large contacts, but the Orel is dangerous with that quad missile launcher. There's 16 tubes up there. So that needs to go. New air. Air where? Says screw top 1. Are we detecting more helicopters? Yes. 7028 is a helicopter. 7029 is unknown. Anything else? Nothing else. But this... talk. Agrees to comply. Airliner. Okay, good. Not a problem then. Friendly air? Come again? Okay. Interesting. The game sort of misclassified this thing as a friendly air, but it's actually not. I cannot control it. It's a neutral air. Oh well. Now, I want to take down that other aircraft. 295. Toolbox 321 station. I'd be delighted to be on the receiving end of an airstrike from the Orel. Just fight me. Fight me, dude. Launch your aircraft, send up a strike, give my F-14 something to shoot. I don't care, just do something. It's just kind of sitting there. Yes, it launched a bunch of helicopters. Yes, it probably has the capacity to engage me with those cruise missiles that they carry. I was hoping for more. Do we have any submerged contacts detected yet? 7017 classified hostiles C. 7017 is a Kazbek. Okay. Let's have the America get involved. Because I can get a couple of A6s out there. We're going to go anti-ship heavy. We're going to go with a couple of flights of 2. We're going to go with a couple of EA6Bs. Let's go with 2 of those. There. Range. 19 miles. 21 miles to the carrier. If I launch now, they'll definitely know about it. So we're not going to do that. Oh, look at that. There's another. Okay, at this point, Tarbox 3 should be just about ready to engage. You may shoot when ready. And then we're going to loiter. I do not wish to get into their range. If I don't have to. I can have this guy just investigate. Does not respond. Good lord. You're a merchant. Okay. And you? Does not respond. And you? Refuses to comply. Unacceptable. If you're going to refuse to comply, I'm going to send a couple of F-14s after you to investigate. You're coming in at 458, which is typically the exact speed of an airliner. But why the hell do you refuse to actually talk to me? I mean, it's your prerogative, but I might draw my own conclusions and shoot you out of the sky. Okay. Almost at the P-42. The interesting thing about this aircraft is that it probably knows it's under attack. It has a good radar on it. It knows that something is coming. And yet it takes absolutely no action whatsoever to try and save its hide. To try and avoid any incoming damage. It's just sitting there. Oh, was that a missile? You didn't get the kill? Curious. Okay. Joker. Let's get you out here. Go to 10,000. Joker 3. Go to 10,000. There. Pop some helos, pop some further reconnaissance birds, and wait for the Baton Rouge to get in range. One of the sonar boys has a hit. We have a contact here, doing 20 knots, which is a curious course of action, but on their head be it. I have Hawker 1, which is going to take up the rest of those patrol duties from the P3, but for now the P3 is going to go hunt whatever 7034 is. It's not one of mine. It's an Oscar or an Echo. Well, or anything else. But I'm thinking that it could be an Echo or an Oscar. That's what I would probably use. An Oscar to engage those oil rigs from afar. I have cleaned out the enemy task force a little bit. Especially when it comes to popping the occasional helicopter. So far the Tu-95 has survived. The P-42 RLDN has not. And that means we have a little bit less enemy observation capabilities to worry about. You guys don't really have a whole lot of work to do right now. These guys are going to be flying in. This is Tarbox 5-1. I'm going to take out 7033 because it's getting a little too close for my liking to the Baton Rouge. So far, it is doing an altitude of 600 feet, so likeliness of dropping sonar buoys is low. But it's still not really something I wish to investigate or wish to relegate to luck. As for these surface contacts, we're just going to have a look. I think everything came out of New Orleans. Not particularly sure why, but here we are. We have Iron Crow as well as Joker flights up in the air with a couple of harpoons. Ready to strike the Casbah and the Chilikin here. This is some sort of token invasion force. And if this is it, then I'm rather underwhelmed about their capabilities. Because I was expecting a bit of a larger landing force. So far, not just in this video, but also in the previous ones, part of this campaign, I've slapped around the Soviet invasion forces quite a lot. So I'm not sure how much they got left. Alright, on our way there, I'm going to throw another sonobuoy, and another, and then an active one. Your depth, 545. That is definitely below the layer. Throw an active. This airliner is still somehow classified as mine. Let's see if these sparrows can get that helo. They are trying to throw me off. But we're not having that. And as such, boom. Of course, the Soviets have plenty more helicopters, especially if you got an Orel. You got more helos around. You're being escorted by 2 Krivaks, a Kashin, and a Sovrameni. Okay, that's an interesting set of units. What's the AA range of the Sov? 17 miles. Not terribly impressed. What about the Orel? Orel's AA range, I think, is about the same. Yep, 17 miles. So they can defend themselves. They just don't do that well in going, I'll say, a bit more offensive and trying to hunt my Tomcats down. Which works for me. We're going to have to intercept this T-95. And I think Tarbox 3 is going to be just popping another helicopter or so. Why not? We got some job for them, and then we can cycle them around and get these guys rearmed with additional Phoenix missiles. As for the P3, ETA about 2 minutes. Is that the only sub we've found so far? This P3B has yet to begin its whole sonobuoy drop. Probably take them a while to actually find something. If there is even anything here. Helena's also in the area. I'm going to tell the Helena to go ahead 2/3. I'm going to have her arrive a little sooner, but I think she's mostly going to be a token force here. She's just not that likely to be part of this encounter if there is a submarine to the south. A little later, we have the proud Pegasus over here. This one's going to be engaging 7034, which has positively been ID'd as a Victor 2. Victor 2s are ones that I typically engage from the stern because they don't have a towed array, so if you engage them from the stern, they typically don't even know that it's coming. Over to the east, we have another subsurface contact. So this one, the P3C from the Blue Sharks, is going to drop a couple of sonobuoys here. One there. What's your depth? 550. I'm going to say this one's below the layer. That's an active buoy right there. And then you're going to fly there. And pretty much do the same song and dance. In the meanwhile, I'm popping up and defeating some P-42 RLDN. We're going after some helicopters just to make Baton Rouge's life a little easier. And her life is about to get interesting because she's about 18 miles out from the primary target, the Orel over there. This thing needs to die. And in order to keep her safe, of course, some helicopters need to get popped out of the sky. So that's why all those AIM-54s are flying around. Yeah, you can try and flare. But I don't think that that's quite going to work out, my friend. You're going to have a very, very short time to write your final will and testament, because I don't think that that missile's going to get fooled. Where the hell did my missiles just go? That's weird. This guy has actually managed to run out of missiles. The AIM-7s against this thing got decoyed by the chaff. So that unfortunately didn't work. That means I'm going to have to engage it with a couple of short-range air-to-air AIM-9s. Not great, because this thing has a 4-mile range and the T-95 can shoot back at range. So I hope that I can get this missile on target and not have to get too close. There's the other aircraft. Is it flaring? And I think my missile just ran out of fuel. Come on. Guess I need to babysit this guy or he'll fail his encounter. There. Jump down on him. Get that missile out and then go back to base, because I'm not trying to do a gun run against this. This will shoot me down. There's flares. And we're not having that. Good. Kill. Okay. Hold on. We lost this guy? Really? Oh, he's coming up to 200 feet. Yes. That's why we can't see him anymore. This guy's below the layer. This guy's below the layer. And this guy's also below the layer. So we got all our detection equipment below the layer. Okay. Manually drop a torpedo there. I did select torpedo, right? Because it's... Yeah. Okay. What do we know about this guy? Oscar 1, Oscar 2. Do those carry a towed array? No. Oscar 2, towed array. Okay, so in that case, it doesn't really matter how I engage it. I'm just gonna go pursue it. Give it some torpedoes. We got a positive kill. 7045 classified hostile helo. 7047. Still got one of these merchants which is not working with me. This guy got identified as an airliner. That's the one all the way up north. So thankfully he's not a problem. As for over here, I have deployed sonobuoys to the south of the Americas position. And I don't really have a whole lot going for it. There's not getting any detections. So we're just going to throw down additional sonobuoys, make sure that this is a pretty much impenetrable wall. I don't want to have any kind of potential for the enemy to get in there. You. Shoot down this bird. We have lost the target. We're heading that way. Yeah, you're supposedly engaging that submarine. The problem is, I don't actually know where it is. So instead, we'll just drop a few sonobuoys. See if we can get some detection on that. 7047 classified hostile helicopter. No, actually, a hostile P-42. Okay. Tarbox. A new target has just appeared. I want to see it disappear. 7045. Engage that. Might not be able to guide it because it's too far. 7048. These boys in their helicopters. Alright, do we know where this guy is? Because I'm throwing out a torpedo. The torpedo's now going to search. Depth known 125. Sort of. Give me an active buoy above the layer. If you can turn that fast, that'd be lovely. If not, just maintain your course and throw it along your course. I need to know where that submarine's at. This thing is searching at around 30 to 40 feet. Sometimes I really dislike the P3s because they turn like an absolute brick. This guy might have... Yep, he just went active. He might have something. We might have a positive detection on them. 58 feet, 60 feet. $65. Okay, another AIM-54 launched. Give me an active... No, yeah, passive sonobuoy there. And then an active sonobuoy there. Okay, we hit a KA-27, very good. Depth 78 feet. He's at 125. He's still doing 10 knots. I don't think he's aware. His course is 317, so northwest. What about the guy over here? Good lord, you're still trying to engage this guy. Ceasefire, track. Ceasefire. Drop. Just a sonobuoy, please. Just a sonobuoy. Range? 12 miles. Deep. All stop. Prepare the ambush. Torpedo status? Yep, found it. There it is. Not a whole lot he can do about it. I'm surprised he's not taking any evasive action. There's no cavitation. It's almost like he doesn't care. Which is weird. Normally the AI takes some pretty drastic action against that. Now, as for Joker, I want to use these gentlemen to engage these ships here, the Casback and the Chilican. And as they're too far away from any protection, I think I can pretty easily eliminate them. We're going to go 2 and 2, but I first need to line up a bit more here. Otherwise, I risk running these harpoons into the same targets. Would be a waste. There you are, Victor 2. Hit him with a torpedo. He's doing 125, slowing down. Okay. What about the other guy? Good lord. This guy's not listening to what I wanted to do. Is this your top speed? No, not quite. You guys are going to be empty, yes? Yeah, you're out of Phoenix missiles. Okay, that's fine. Now, these guys are doing 32 knots, which makes them pretty deaf. But some of these others are not. Such as this Krevac. They're doing... Oh, they're speeding up. Active sonar? Yes. Okay. You can always dip down below the water to see if it's active or not. You're preparing to drop on 7034.
On station. Buoy away.
At least I hope you are. He's got no propulsion still. Which should make this attack for the torpedo rather easy. Can't run. Can't change his depth much. There you go. Alrighty. I want you to go here. And this guy... Well, we'll just have to deploy a sonar buoy pretty close. You can go back to 1,000 feet now. You're done with transit mode. So we're going to go down. And we're going to start laying down some sonar buoys. Intermittent, so one above the layer, one below, one there, there. On your travels, just drop a sonar buoy in front of you. New passive contact, 7049er. Which is where? Sonar buoy. No, noisemaker. It looks like the torpedo might actually be falling for it.
Contact detected.
Not a worry. I can always re-engage later.
Bandits.
Hello, helicopter. There you are. Cool. Probably a very expensive way to kill helicopters, but hey ho. Go home. I need to get some additional Tomcats out here, because I'm running a little low on my patrols. Air-to-air intercepts. Take the different squadron then. 2 birds. Because we got Tarbox 3, Tarbox 6 coming in, Tarbox 5's coming home. Come again? Ah. 7051 is our friend from before. We have hit the Victor over on the western side. Here. I wonder if that's going to be enough to take him out. Wouldn't be surprised if he's going to struggle for a little while and then die anyway. This is where I'm going to leave you with this first part of the video. The second part is going to deal with the escort group here. We need to sink the aircraft carrier. We still have a lot of work ahead of us. So join me for part 2. If you're a member, you can watch that right now. If you're not, well, just sleep on it for 2 days and you'll get the video automatically. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you soon for part 2.